like you guys still have a lot of work to do.
I really do. I'm great at close range, but I'm having some trouble with the iron sight since the ACOG is just so incredible for the 400-meter target. Oh, you meant for our marriage. Yeah, that too.
I think you're going to have to decide what's more important to you, all right? Living in Texas or each other?
Our interracial love is strong enough to get us through anything.
Yeah. Our love is stronger than anything Texas has to offer. Hey, babe, let's turn right in here. We're running low on gas right now. What is this place? UC's? Hey, babe, I'm gonna go inside. This pump is broken. It says gas is only $2.99.
Yeah, I can't be muted. No. Is that better? Do I sound like an 80s bad guy from some bad cartoon? Very well. We shall continue. So, all kinds of fun stuff going on. The library's been very busy. Oh, I was going to start with this. But, it's too small for my face. Anyways, got housing all straightened out for PAX Unplugged just now. That was awesome. Flight was not cheap, but we're getting out there. It's awesome. PAX is covering shipping in the library. That's all been set up and sent off. All these away missions. I feel like a Star Trek officer all of a sudden. I'm taking a team on an away mission. Hey there, Ken. So I will be talking Black Friday stuff. So, PAX Unplugged is the first weekend in December in Philly, and unlike Gen Con or every other event where we have to haul the library, PAX has been amazing. We take it up to their headquarters, which is about 45-minute or so drive from my house. Pardon me. And they actually put it with all of their stuff that's being shipped from their headquarters to the show, which is awesome. It saves us a boatload of money, and then we are down to paying for travel at that point and lodging. Ken, you are a red shirt. So this is one of our big away missions every year, and the library will continue to go to PAX Unplugged because it is such a amazing show. PAX is a lot of fun. I love PAX, and we do great things at PAX West or PAX Prime or PAX Original, whatever anybody wants to call it. But it is the main floor of PAX West is video games and computer games and the like. But going to PAX Unplugged, because it's all tabletopped, because it's unplugged, is just super awesome because you see tons of role-playing games, you see board games, card games, everything. It's just, it is, and it's free-flowing the way like many Comic Cons and PAX are. Whereas other game conventions that have been about tabletop stuff, you plan things out and you pay to be part of things. This is just you go and everything's happening and you're just like, oh my god, I want to do everything. It is so much fun. My Nintendo Switch is unplugged. But it's plugged in. The screen is plugged into the motherboard and the battery's plugged into the motherboard, so there's still plugs in there. Yeah, as Lackey says, it's nice they treat us as a feature of the show instead of a club, which is awesome. And that's, years of relationships that, some of the shows are relationships that I have built over the years. Some are relationships that Lackey's built over the years. He has been awesome in helping out with stuff, especially while I was gone for a couple years playing Army, doing crazy stuff. Lackey really helped out, especially with PAX. PAX Unplugged was a big one, and there's other people within the PAX organization. They're like, look, awesome things happen with the library. We just need to keep it going. So, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of things we do if it wasn't for the organizers of these events, the volunteers at our events, as well. But yeah, so PAX Unplugged is, things are planned and going, and I can kind of stop thinking about some of that. I have people reaching out that want to have meetings at PAX Unplugged now, so things I want to do necessarily at the event, I probably won't, because now I have to go to meetings and stuff. I have to actually act like an adult instead of going, you want to learn about role-playing games? Let's go! Which is my favorite thing to do. Oh man, I probably had a million other things to talk about, but that all just kind of happened like the last little bit. Got something in the mail today. Look, it's a piece of paper. Hang on, I need my preview up. Can everybody see the piece of paper? Hello there, happy goth art. So that's a print from this. Let's take the plastic wrap off. No, it is Blade Runner. Oh, this was their limited print run. Get off static electricity. Free League. Just so they finished their Blade Runner Kickstarter a few months ago. And they just sent this out. It's not available for sale yet. Yeah, it was still a Harrison Ford. Somebody, Lunar Dragon guessed Wars and Stars. And it's like, but got one of the actors correct. Yeah, the cover is gorgeous. Free League, always doing awesome stuff. I cannot wait to see. Blade Runner. I got to see it as a little kid in the theaters when it actually was. It was a flop in the theaters, but like I remember seeing it and just loving it. And then everybody in the family drugged me to go see E.T. and said, "Oh, hey, you're gonna love E.T." And I didn't like E.T. as a kid. I love Star Wars. I loved Blade Runner. I remember seeing Aliens in the theater and going, "That was awesome." And all the kids' movies, I went to see Neverending Story because everyone said, "Your kid's gonna love it," and yeah, I didn't care. So when other people my age cry about the horse that dies and that, and I was like, wasn't my thing. Enjoyed seeing the final cut, and so my favorite cut is still the theatrical cut, even with the little tacked on happy ending, which I just ignore. The movie ends as soon as Decker walks out of his apartment and the elevator doors close. E.T. was terrifying, especially when the military chases the child. Yeah, this also came in the box, so we got the starter set of Blade Runner as well. Let's see what's in. It's a pretty cover. There are aerial chase obstacle cards. So I'm not going to get into the cards. Let's see. That is D8s, a D12, a D10, and D6s. And the D10s... Oh, and there's a D12. Oh, they have weird logos on them. I don't know if that means something. Oh, Free League, please tell me you're not getting into crazy dice things. Whoa, candy. No, silica gel, don't eat it. Yeah, PAX hooked us up with lodging for Unplugged, and that saves us. So we have somebody that's I will announce Monty Cook Games is sponsoring us for they're being a donor to help the library get places. So we had a board meeting recently, and one of the big things we're going to do with the that funding, one, it doesn't have to go to lodging anymore, and lodging doesn't have to come out of all our pockets, which is amazing. But we're going to make merch. So we're going to pre-purchase T-shirts, pins, stuff like that, stickers. So I'm hoping the dice are branded, but if I will have to look into this because I love these streams where you guys are active because we kind of talk about two things at once. So see if I can showcase what these dice look like. Hang on a sec. I bring my camera preview up. Let's see. So you see the little unicorn, and if you know the movie, that makes sense. It's on a 1, but then you have on that 10 there, 2 eyes. On the 9, you have 1 eye. The 11, you have 2. Some of them you have nothing. And same with the D6 on the 1 and the 6. So I don't know if they... So the nice thing is, like, literally just still has numbers on them. So I don't know if those mean something. And it just means I'm going to have to pay attention. Book bags are a must. It's a library. So do you mean like old school JanSport book bags, or do you mean like tote bags? Tote bags are cheaper. Oh, sweet. So while we're unplugged, it's great because some of these shows. So going to Gamma, going to Gen Con. Sadly, Gen Con, Lackey and I both got sick, so we couldn't do a bunch of meetings. But Unplugged is also another one where we can sit down with some of the individuals from these different companies and have meetings. So, okay, tote bag. So, like, yeah, we can look into doing tote bags. I know we can't afford doing backpacks for a very long time, but T-shirts, hoodies. We already have T-shirts and hoodies available on our website. They're kind of a print on demand, so they're a little more expensive. So with the dice bags, I've got a couple feelers out on getting us good pricing on our Flaming D20 in a book as a fabric print, so we can make dice bags with our logo. And that's just it's the cheaper ways to get the fabric made that way and have people make our dice bags versus, doing a dice bag and then having the logo printed on it or something like that. Syntax. So, yeah, put more suggestions in the comments of cool stuff to do merch-wise, and we will look at it. Okay. Yeah, totes are easy to screen print. Okay, so what's in the starter box? You have your Blade Runner, the role-playing game rules. Oh, this is another one of those. So Free League knows when to use shiny and when not. So I typically don't like shiny, but it works for the art and layout of the Blade Runner world. So, and it feels nice too. Then we have the Case File 01, Electric Dreams. And so what was really hilarious is last night we did a Thanksgiving with my wife's family and her youngest sister's husband we were talking about Blade Runner, and I just told him about this game, and then I get it today. So, and he's a gamer, doesn't live that far away, and he's like, oh, we should see about coming over and helping you guys. Now he's excited. Oh, let me finish looking at this here. So we've got you got your character sheets of your pre-made characters. Oh, I was like, Kill Magazine Weekly. That's it's a location. The Jupiter Moon Bus. If you've read the book, that means something. Hollywood Sign. Apartment. A bunch of really nice maps. And a couple of them are larger, so they fold out. Oh, wow. Nice. Huge Blade Runner fan. And then we got a little dossier. LAPD Rep detect. Okay, folders are a great idea, but also horrible idea. Oh, cool. These are like handouts and stuff. Oh, ads to go off-world. These are all little handouts, files on Androids. I always thought it was interesting that Philip K. Dick and why can't I think of his name? Did Alien, that did Blade Runner. They had entirely different ideas on what an android was, but Philip K. Dick really loved the direction that Ridley Scott was going with the movie. He got to see a lot of the dailies and stuff, things because he passed away before the movie came out, and was able to get to see a bunch of stuff come to life. Cool, like these are all labeled handouts, and they're like photographs and evidence. Awesome. This is really nice. This is a really cool starter kit. Oh man. Okay, Free League, knocking out of the park. Yeah, I like this. This is one of the nicer starter kits I've seen. Like the quality of the One Ring one was nice, but it was pretty slim. Whereas this one is, I think, a much more involved starter kit, and I love stuff like this. And you know, Blade Runner being a sci-fi noir, you know, this will be a lot of fun. I think that's one of the things Blade Runner 2049 didn't get right. It wasn't a noir. It wasn't gritty. It wasn't dark. It wasn't, you know, there was a lot of things lacking in that. And sci-fi noir, it's because of Blade Runner is why I've played some of the campaigns I have and stuff like Cyberpunk over the years. I can safely say the book Blade Runner is 100% on Earth. Electric Sheep. Because there is a book Blade Runner also. So Do Android Dreams of Electric Sheep. And so in the original book, Philip K. Dick's idea of Android was he'd just been doing a ton of research for Man in the High Castle, which was also a phenomenal book series. And then, was it Netflix? Or no, it was Amazon that did a really good adaptation of that. I've watched the whole first season of it, and it's actually really good. But he was reading all these comments and stuff from Nazi officers that worked at concentration camps and stuff, and how detached they became from the world because of what they were doing. And you know, it's crazy. And so in Philip K. Dick's mind, Android wasn't an automaton mechanical being. It was I need to watch the other 2 seasons of Man in the High Castle. Haven't caught up to watching TV. But so in Philip K. Dick's Do Android Dreams of Electric Sheep, the androids are fully humans that have detached themselves from the world. And within the book, there's basically a religion to get to heaven. One of the best ways is to take care of an animal, because of the last war that happened, wiped out most plant life and almost every animal. The wealthy have access to animals, and the lower class, the middle and lower classes, they do their part to take care of animals and get to the afterlife by buying electric animals. And the main character, or one of the characters in the book, is trying to raise funds to buy an electric sheep. And all the electric animal stuff was left out of the movie, which wouldn't have really worked on screen. So I think both the book and the movie touch on some amazing things, and the movie does a great job of being a noir that the book doesn't really touch into. But anyways, Blade Runner, the role-playing game, you can play movie style or Do Android Dreams of Electric Sheep, which is a good book. Either way, you can merge them together and now play in the Blade Runner world. You don't have to pretend anymore. So that's all we got in the mail. I'm excited. Oh man, I really, really want to learn this game. Let's see. Let us go to. I'm not starting with this story. I'm going to start with a different story. So, sadly, so I got to meet Jason David Frank earlier this year, a couple weeks before we got the Power Ranger role-playing game set, and I hadn't told him that we were going to get all the signatures from all the Rangers, and sadly he just passed away the other day. And I know it's not role-playing game news, but it's something that we were really trying to actively seek out all the Power Rangers to get as many signatures as possible. But if you go to the library website, you'll see a little memorial. And Alan was my best friend, and he was going through some very similar things that Jason David Frank was going through. So please go check on friends and family. If you have friends that are having issues, I hate to say, when they seem their best, that is when something can happen and they can hit rock bottom. And when you're up here, when you're not doing well, and you're in the middle, and you can have spikes and valleys. But if you're doing well for a while and you get doing great, and then something just snaps in your life, something bad happens, or something triggers bad memory or whatever, and when you fall hard. So please reach out to friends and families. It's the time of the year that we really need to do that. Sadly, we lose more people in these next few months than we should. Please go out and take care of your families. Yes, there are chat lines out there. Anybody out there watching has my phone number. They can call me. I know the bridges by my house now have phone numbers to helplines on the bridges. We were able to get the signs put up. If you're a veteran, please look up the veteran helpline. They can help any way, shape, or form. So let's get into other news. And I wish his family well. He leaves behind 4 children, and I just cannot imagine what they're going through. So okay, this has been popping up. And I ran across this article. I was trying to figure out how to address this, because I've heard this popping up all over the place. It's like, is the OGL going away? OGL's not going away, kind of. So anything that has been produced under the OGL, or the open that is open gaming content. So if it's OGC done with an SRD under the OGL, it's out there, and it'll continue to be out there. So you can there's a third edition and 5th edition SRD out there. Pathfinder has an SRD. Anything that's made on the other that has those SRDs out there that are already out, anybody can continue to use those, continue to make OGL content. But there is no word, and we're pretty sure that the 1D&D is not going to have an SRD for OGL. It's going to be 5e compatible, according to Wizards of the Coast, which means you can make 5e SRD stuff that should be compatible with 1D&D, but because that's ultimately all going to be online, don't know how people are going to really interact with it. So if you hear people saying, "Oh my God, the OGL's going away," nobody's going to be able to make a D20 thing or something, you can still make 3rd edition content, Pathfinder content, 5e content. the way it's written, they can't take that away. But just know, when 1D&D comes around, that's not going to have one as it currently sets. So 20 years of cool add-ons could slowly die for whatever the current system is. Okay. Walking Dead, so Free League with their Blade Runner and Aliens and many other awesome things. They just announced they're doing a Walking Dead RPG, and super stoked for this, really, because the Walking Dead universe is pretty cool. But and there's been a lot of games and stuff put out for it, but nothing has made me excited. And everybody's like, oh well, it's just it's just another zombie. But it's nice to have like that official zombie game. So keep an eye out for. They have trailers and everything. So keep an eye out for this coming soon. Renegade Games. They were a donor for that helped us get to Gen Con this year. And they are putting out their G.I. Joe role-playing game, Operation Cold Iron Adventures. It adds all kinds of awesome... It adds all the rules for vehicles. So it is a adventure, but it also has like vehicle rules and stuff that they haven't had that they didn't have. So you can play. You can drive the Hiss. There's going to be a whole bunch of cool stuff in this. Super duper excited. I don't know if it's a pre-order at the moment, but they just when we'll get a reprint of the Army of Darkness. I don't know. I gotta find out who's got the rights to the Army of Darkness. Yes, there was an Army of Darkness RPG. Was it on the Cortex system? Because it was the same system that they put Buffy and Angel in, and it was all on the shelf at the same time. Just the only difference was the Army of Darkness book had like horde combat, because you had hordes. Eden, yes, it was Eden that put those out. Playing in the Army of Darkness world sounds fun. Yes, and if you bring Buffy into the Army of Darkness world, or bring Ash over to the Buffy world, because their rules are the same. Let's see. This one I missed. So this was 2 weeks ago. Star Wars RPG finally getting reprinted after a multi-year hiatus. So Fantasy Flight was bought by Asmodee. Asmodee then made all the Fantasy Flight RPGs, moved them under the Edge Studio. Well, Asmodee was then purchased by a Swedish electronics company. And that company owns like THQ Nordic. They own Dark Horse Comics and a bunch of other stuff. So apparently, I missed this a couple weeks ago. They just announced that they're going to be reprinting a bunch of the Fantasy Flight or Edge Star Wars stuff, which is nice because I know a bunch of people. I get frustrated because it has specialty dice, but I know a bunch of people that have been seeking out getting their hands on it, but it's not been available for a little while. So if you know anybody that's looking for it, you'll be able to pick it up again soon in your friendly local game store. That reminds me. So that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. I need anybody that get a hold of their local game store. Start sending or messaging us on social media. We want to push out every local game store that's doing something cool on their Small Business Saturday. So everybody's heard of Black Friday. You've got Cyber Monday, but that Saturday is Small Business Saturday. So I've hated Black Friday for years. All the Black Friday sales were like junk TVs that you could get for $50 more as long as you just bought it 3 days later and didn't get mobbed. And you're waiting. When I was a little kid, Black Friday, the sales were big, but they weren't lines. It wasn't until the 90s we got really crazy lines and people doing stupid stuff. Well, stop doing that and go support your local businesses on that following Saturday. You'll find a lot of stores. I'm going to start calling all the local stores in the Puget Sound area and find out what they're doing. And I want people to go out and try to support their local game store. But so go out and support your local game stores is what I'm trying to say. Somebody said my problem with the Fantasy Flight Edge Star Wars was the lack of official PDFs. I never realized that they didn't, but I don't really necessarily pay attention to the PDFs. It says thanks EA, but yeah, EA can be so much fun to work with. Let's see. We're going to get into some bundles and stuff because 'tis the season. Lunar Dragon says, I work all weekend, Thursday to Tuesday, but tomorrow I'll be going to my local game store. Let your local game store that you're not available for Black Friday or for Small Business Saturday, and ask them if they can either sell it to you early or see if they can offer you, something. Say, hey, I want to support you for that. But also, if you're at your local game store and they've got a cool sale, let us know, and we're going to push them out through social media all week. Let's see. So, Hack the Game Games Bundle from Bloat Games. So this is $9.99. This is their Valor Knights, Monsters Are Heroes, Hack the RPG, Create Your Own Role-Playing Game, and Destination Uncharted. So they bundled a whole bunch of their games together for people to pick up cheap. Shadow Over the Great Wood bundle. So a bunch of maps that have been bundled together for $1.99. Oh, already posted in Discord. All right. Also, yes, if you're out there, you can also look at our Discord. Mox Boarding House is giving $15 coupons for each $100 spent. Mox is really iffy on the friendly local hood. So I like Mox. I like what they've become. I do kind of consider them a local game store because even though they have a giant arm of what they do online, they still offer a place for people to come play and go. So it looks like Mox is giving $15 coupons for each $100 spent. So if you live near Mox, which some people, their closest game store is Mox. So to Pulsar says the Fantasy Flight thing. Fantasy Flight got to do physical while EA got to do digital, and yeah, stuff like that happens all the time. It's like, well, that's how we ended up with Hackmaster because the people that did the Knights of the Dinner Table that was being put into the Dragon magazines, they had the digital rights. TSR had the print rights, and then when WotC bought them, they made a CD-ROM of all the Dragon magazines. Well, that was digital publishing of a product that they didn't have the digital rights to. So sometimes interesting stuff can happen because of those legalese. But in the Fantasy Flight with the Star Wars game, we ended up with legalese that prevented PDFs or legal PDFs. Okay, over on itch.io, which I suggest people go to itch.io. Ninth Level Games, which we have chatted with Chris from Ninth Level Games, and Heather has... the people over at Ninth Level are awesome. They've been around for over 20 years now, doing fun, awesome little RPGs, and actually they just emailed me if we may try to do an ad, because they do these cool things every year. Level 1 book, and it's a bunch of it's a really cool thing. I'll have to dig a couple out and showcase them, but we may be able to do an ad in one of those. So Chris wants to meet up at Unplugged too. That's awesome, and I look forward to chatting with Chris and Heather as well, because they may want to talk about a like a half-page ad or something in that book, which would be awesome. I love what they do. They make some really cool small games. So they have their Thanksgiving 2022 bundle. So buy all of their books for $125. It's 20% off. So I mean it's decent, but it's not massive. But it's still awesome because you get a bunch. So these are based on These three here are based on their well, actually, a lot of these are based on their polymorph system. So you've got the Excellence, Business Wizards, which I want to play so bad, Horseshoe Academy, and then the Very Good Dogs of Chernobyl, Rebel Scum. Those are all based on their polymorph system. Kobolds Ate My Baby is that game that Chris and Heather made back in the late 90s. And then they even more things to kill and eat, an add-on for. Hey, thank you very much there, Ken. We love subscription. I think that woohoo, we're at 6 subscribers. We're over 200 followers, and we're at 6 subscribers. And the subscriptions, we don't get a ton off of those, but it helps. You know, we have a few $100s a month. We have a few $100s a month that we have to spend keeping the library stored, and because I don't have space at my home to do it. There's little ins and outs of things that we have to pay for every month, and stuff like subscriptions or small donations always help. Mazes is actually really cool if you've not played Mazes. I forgot what system the Savage Sisters is based off on, but it's also a lot of fun. So, well, thank you very much for the. Okay, my Twitch screen thing is going bonkers. We almost doubled the subscribers. We went from 5 at the start of the stream to 8, so 2 more will have double subscribers. Thank you all for the the subscriptions. That is awesome. It's funny because I watch YouTubers and Twitch streamers that are my size or our size or bigger. They get tongue twisted, or when like Jacksepticeye comes in and does something cool. It is really it's tough to fathom people like, hey, I'm gonna give you money to keep doing what you're doing. So if you like 9th level games, we love the folks over at 9th level games. They make some really cool games, and they're a lot of fun. They're very focused on making games that are not overly complicated, that are easy, fun, and accessible, so that anybody can pick them up and play them. And like all the polymorph stuff, you can thank you for the bits too. Awesome. The turkey train leaves early. Oh, you guys are trying to make me slip up. Woo woo. Okay. 9th level games, awesome, small, fun, easy to digest games, and they have a sale on itch.io. And I will tell people, go over to itch.io. You can help support small companies and small game designers. In fact, sometimes I see stuff down at the bottom. So this is Gas Bashers. We chatted with them. Fun little 6-sided dice RPG RPG game. Very based on Ghostbusters. Okay, let's move on. BackerKit. The only RPG that's on BackerKit right now is Dead Air Seasons from World Anvil Publishing. I got 9 days left. getting close to 650 backers. They're at 54,000 euros. I still will never get used to euros using decimal points instead of commas, but yeah. Okay. Backer kit. Where are the... Let's see. Dead Air Seasons draws inspiration from a number of works in the post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse genre. However, it accomplished this in keeping people's stories at the forefront. Furthermore, the game delves into the theme of ecology, the consequences of man's destruction of natural environments, and the illusionary hope that things can be fixed without our sacrifice. We focused on 3 major narrative threads: people's stories, the world has changed forever, nature demands tribute. Interesting. I love the turtles there, Ken. So the core book, that is a really cool cover. Let's see. How to play, you only need the core book, and you'll find inside what happened, the world now. The game system, character creation, let's see. The complete set of rules for Monad Echo, a streamlined game system built around storytelling. Rules for creating a community, the modular approach to developing territory, social dynamics, and areas of interest, the blight and its aftermath, and the rules for generating a crisis. Well, rules for generating a crisis. Well, look around. Let's see, Dead Air, The Brave New World, the expansion book. 2 new, so all kinds of cool stuff. The Daughter of the Blight, game campaign. Let's see, what are our levels? So at 19 euros, you get drive-through RPG, I guess, digital copies plus the name of the book. So 36 euros gets you all 3 of the books in digital. 48 euros gets you PDF playbooks plus files plus drive-through copies and name of the books. What do they mean by drive-through or copies? Let's see. 85 gets you... Okay, that's not very clear. I'm guessing that... I'm going to click on back it, see what it's... There we go. This is much more gooder. Okay, so 49 euros gets the Dead Air Seasons core book, the Brave New World book, Daughter of the Blight, and Archetype playbooks, all in PDF. Geez. You also get the Founders, the Game Master, Season Master screen, and the name of the book. So 85 gets you the core book and then Brave New World book in printed form. And then a bunch of stuff in PDF, all printed. So 148 euros gets you 4 printed books, all the PDFs, and tons of stuff. So Veteran, 30. Okay, so this looks like this is the only game that's on Backer Kit at the moment. I like that Backer Kit is now doing funding projects on their own. They've been around for a while, and this looks like a neat game. Looks like they're decently far along. Looks like it's well put together. So I want to keep an eye on this. This has like only 9 days left. So they're doing okay. I'm gonna blow through a bunch of Kickstarter stuff. We're not gonna really look into a bunch of it because there is a boatload of stuff on Kickstarter at the moment. Whew, man, I think everybody started something. Let's see. World Canvas, a tabletop RPG with infinite potential. Everybody says that. So 43 days to go, 7 backers. They're out of Edmonton, Canada. Let's see. World Canvas is a tabletop world-building tabletop RPG based around a 3-skill slot system, giving you near unlimited playstyles and combinations through weapon skill and arcane skills. We've included a world and a campaign for you to dive right into. However, World Canvas, at its core, is intended to be a platform for you to create your own worlds and stories. Almost every mechanic within World Canvas can be removed, replaced, and or added to any world you curate your expenses. Yeah, there's a ton of... So, they have a mock-up of a cover, but they really don't have a lot about... So, first created, zero backed. Yeah, guys, we need to chat. I'm not sure how much of a game you have there. The book looks cool. I'm going to reach out to them. See. So I normally don't talk about stuff like this, but I saw a bunch of stuff non-RPG book related. So, Tabletone, an interactive audio app for tabletop game masters. Love the idea behind this. So, the ultimate interactive automated music and sound experience for tabletop role-playing games. There are a few decent ones out there. And some of them don't have good interfaces. And the interface on this looks halfway decent. Looks a little cartoony, but cartoony's fine.
The Wandering Tower is a mystery to men.
Let's see. Okay, so there's... There we go. Let's see how it works.
Entering the tower feels like entering an old...
So it's more music. It's more music, which is fine. But I was hoping for like audio bits. I love it. If I'm gonna go full into something, having a music bed is cool, but having like audio bits is awesome. Let's see. Midwinter Ghost Stories, spine-chilling tabletop RPG scenarios. So this is not an RPG system. This is like stories and settings to use in your RPG. So I think this is actually really cool because, again, having things at your fingertips like this are great because sometimes you sit down and you're like, oh, what do I want to play? I don't know. I'm the GM next week. And, you know, having something like this on your shelf is awesome. So if you, especially, hey, we're getting into, you know, the winter season. Having, you know, ghost stories to jump into gameplay can be a whole lot of fun. And sometimes it's great to what's in pound sterling? Oh, yes, this one is in pounds. I always love that they showcase up here. So, yes, this one is in... They are looking for $2,307 or 1,950 pounds sterling. So I love having stuff like this on the shelf for players to grab. And right now, you know, you may not be playing as often because some of your players are, you know, they're going to be gone. So this can be a great little segue into something where 3 of your players are there and the 4th not. And instead of, hey, we're not playing, you take those 3 players and run them through a little side quest and have some fun with them. So love having stuff like that. Now, you won't have that, you know, if you back this, you won't have it this year. You'll have it for next year. Let's see. Chronicle Connection Plus. Some of these, like, they just jumped out. Don't know anything. Chronicle Connection Plus is a solo journaling tabletop RPG. Those seem to be really popular right now. Might have something to do with the last couple of years. So you had a lot of people, a lot of game designers that weren't chatting with each other much. So, Chronicle Connection Plus is a solo journaling tabletop RPG that takes place in the 90s. The greatest decade ever. Well, toss up between the 80s and 90s. Centered around the act of recording your journey of romance, life, mistakes, and success. In Chronicle Connection Plus, the character you play is the protagonist of a romance story, and the plot of the story advances as your character writes in their diary and interacts with their connection over a period of 24 days. Well, that's kind of cool. Keeps you limited on like my Saturday group. You start with full Pathfinder AP. So, cute little game. I like the idea that it's a journaling thing, and then you have a set number of days that you're going through. So, and it looks fairly small, so it could be a lot of fun. Let's see. Guild 66, a brand new D6 tabletop RPG, an explosive, inspiring, fully open system. I love how people really describe their stuff sometimes. And the cute and fluffy llama rams? I don't know what they are. Alpaca rams with tails? So you first created, backed 5 other stuff. From Newcastle upon Tyne, UK. The UK's got some really strange name places. Brief summary. This tabletop role-playing game is played using character sheets. Using the character sheets, the Hunter's Guide, and 6-sided dice. You, the Hunters, gather clues and match them to the monster's description in the Hunter's Guide. You use the crafting information in this book to gather materials and forge items like potions, weapons, and explosives. Ooh, explosives. As soon as you're ready, you take everything you've learnt and everything you've crafted to hunt the monster. That's kind of cool. It's like a little mystery going, okay, what's causing the damage here? And then you go back and you develop the game plan to go actually hunt them. During combat, all the hunters share the same term. Attacks go first, then signs, then items. If a hunter dies during combat, they aren't dead until combat ends. The hunter's attacks start with 3d6 damage dice, and dice are added or taken away depending on how combat plays out. The hunters are aiming to roll 6d6, which doubles their damage. It's called an explosive strike. This game can be played in long campaigns, like Hunters Take On multi-session story, or it can be played as a series of one-shots where the GM chooses a monster for the hunters to fight. They get a brief period where they prep what they need, then they are thrown into combat. Actually, I kind of dig the ideas behind this. Here's the cute llama ram thing with a tail. I don't know what this thing. A fluffkin, an alpaca with ram horns, and a fluffy curly tail. Oh, I nailed it! It's a alpaca ram with a fluffy tail. Hey, their artist nailed what they were going for. I like the idea behind this. It's neat. So instead of just wandering around running into things, you go out, you get clues what you're going to go fight. Then you prep, then you go fight. I actually kind of dig this. Neat idea. It's a different take on things. Let's see. Southside Experience, an 18-card Mafia-inspired world for tabletop RPGs. 49 days to go, 2 backers. So it was set in 1920s Chicago. First created, 0 backed. So, that's a long introduction. At its core, Southside Experience is a universal tabletop role-playing game setting in an 18-card deck. But there's so much more in practice. Use the cards to gain inspiration for location, characters, weapons, and most importantly, plot scenarios and quest starters. So this is a deck of cards to help you build out the setting. So if you like 1920s Chicago, this could be your thing. I think it's very niche, which niche is not bad. Just means you're going to have a smaller target audience. I think that there's already a lot of products out there that can help you world build, but this one has a very specific thing to do. So, if you're interested in a little card deck that will help you build out a game for 1920s Chicago, here's your thing. Let's see. Delving Wood, collectible game terrain. Okay. I like people that make terrain and buildable things and add-ons, but I do have to say, collectible game terrain made me laugh. So it looks like they've done a lot of work. They kind of know what they're building. So first created, they're back to. So you're pledging to support the creation and delivery of a tough, beautiful, and sustainable collectible gaming terrain tiles for tabletop RPG and miniature games. Each of our 5 pledge levels and 2 early bird levels introduce unique sets of tiles designed to build and expand upon the set from the previous level. Add on any or all of our 5 unique scenario tiles to further... Mage Knight did blind booster terrain back. I remember that. So, if you don't know what Mage Knight is, Mage Knight was out before HeroClix. So, and they had blind terrain boosters. You had boxes that you would just open and go, "Oh, please let me." I don't need yet another effing tree. I've never liked in the chat. Never liked things being collectible. Typically, since collectible varies from person to person, and typically just used as a marketing tool. Exactly. I mean, I'll give something like Magic the Gathering, collectible card game. Yes, comic books are a collectible thing. Are they? When they first came around, they were just for reading, but they became a collectible thing. But yeah, the mystery box craze. I hate mystery box stuff. Yeah, it's the FOMO. Mystery boxes totally live upon the fear of missing out, and even with Magic the Gathering, I don't buy packs anymore because unless I'm going to an event, that's the only time I'm gonna do packs. I'm not a fan of just cracking things, hoping I get the one thing I need. Yes, they had. Yes, it basically it's gambling. Yes, Tapulsar, they had mystery boosters. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna see if I can pull up. Seeing if I can find pictures of them back in the day. Ugh. I'm not able to find any of any right now. There's a ton of old Mage Knight unopened stuff on eBay right now. Ugh. But anyways, so if you want to call it collectible. It's a marketing term. But let's see what their pledge levels are. Wayfarer, a great way to get started with our game tiles. Explorer includes Explorer and Wayfinder pledge levels. Horde Hunter. Let's see. So here's the Wayfinder. So it's a bunch of tiles, and you can build. It looks like you can build a building out of it. Yeah. The extra boards for Robo Rally, and that's the only reason why I never bought the Robo Rally expansion boards, because you actually didn't know what you're getting. And it was WotC going, "Ooh, we can do what we're doing with Magic with other stuff." Well, hi there. Yes, I have. Nice to see XDad. called me Fez, so I know you know me from an event, most likely. You'll have to message me so that I know exactly who you are. But, yeah, most of the people that know will call me Fez usually know me from PAX or Emerald City Comic Con. Oh, I think I know exactly who you are now. And welcome to the chat there, ex-dad. Let's see. So, the one thing I have to say that they're doing right with this is, so if you get in at the Wayfinder, you get the Wayfinder stuff. If you get an Explorer, you get the Explorer and the Wayfinder. If you get the Horde Hunter, you get everything below it. So I like what they're doing. They've got some of their stretch goals done, which is kind of cool. Special tiles, trapdoors, doors, stairs. So there's some cool stuff. Ooh, okay. I like the rat warrens and the cavern. So as nice as I think this is, and some people are going to absolutely love this. They do look nice. They being wood. I think when it comes down to it, just having that looks super cool, but having squares that you can draw on are just as good or better at times. I do say it looks nice, but man, you have to have so much. Ooh, look, rocks. I like rocks. It's cool. Let's see what's else on the and they're doing well. So they got 21 days to go. They're over their $4,000 pledge. They're out of Milwaukee. Anybody get that reference? Yeah, and that's my problem here, Xdad, is this is really cool, but you've got to really invest in this. And here's the other thing is, if you get one of each of their things, it's not that hard to find somebody that can make you more. And so it's not a system that is not copyable, is the best way I can say. See, and Lunar Dragon brings up something. It's like, kind of looks bland. That really clean wood. If I want to invest in fancy tiles, I want them to be hella cool looking. But this is gonna fill a niche of somebody that wants that wood aesthetic. It is also something that you could stain and make look neat. And yeah, the Lunar said, not that hard to make. You really could design this out, and if you have access, you can go to a makerspace and rent out a laser and probably knock out a ton of this. I don't mean to begrudge people that are, now their price points aren't too horrible. So $47 for the Wayfinder pack. You get, that's right on the cusp of, is it feasible enough, or is it cost effectiveness for me to sit down, design it, and might also be that the photos are blown out on the prototypes. Could be. I like the idea, but it is also something super easy to knock off. Super duper easy. Yeah, $30 max at Michael's and Makerspace. And if you're smart, you can find, you can recycle bits and pieces of wood. You can go to wood shops and get some scrap that you could do stuff with this. So yeah, Sapphire Forge Company expansion. So this one, I wanted to look at this because it's a little different. So, looking to increase what we offer to more than just handmade dice. So, handmade dice is a big thing within Kickstarter. Just go to Dice and in Kickstarter, any of the system, any of the crowdfunding, and you'll be inundated with dice. I've actually thought about making custom dice for the library because we have some members that have 3D printers. You get everything prepped. You get how you want it, get it 3D printed, and then you make molds. And then you can just sit there and honestly, making molds is not that hard. I used to do it all the time. I made all the bases for armies when I was painting minis because making custom bases was far simpler than making than flocking and painting bases, and that looked half as good. Yeah, Warren Wood's done 2 Kickstarters so far on dice alone. Yeah, and there's plenty of people that are doing dice. There are some companies that I like. I like what Zuccotti does. I think he makes some really nice dice. They're not crazy and flamboyant, but they're really nice. And I like he spent a lot of time and effort to make numbers that were large enough and legible enough without being, because some dice, you're like, oh, look, the number is ginormous. I feel like I need giant numbers. Yeah, molds are super easy. Cracks me up how people don't think they are. So, anyways, here's somebody that's been making dice locally and now is trying to go to Kickstarter. I think Indiegogo will probably be a better place, but they're trying to hire more people so they can do 3D printed boxes and stuff. I don't think Kickstarter is the right place for this particular project. Hats off to them that they're doing enough that they're kind of at that cusp of, do I keep doing this or do I try to make it bigger so I can hire more people? And that's when you run a small business, it's so hard to do. So hard to do. Okay. This one has 43 hours to go. I wish we had enough funds for the library to back it. It's out of Italy. Unglorious. It is everything about this makes me just smile and giggle. I've had a great day today. So the art on this, I love it, and they're doing well. They've got a ton of stuff available in here. There's their cemetery map, the Inglorious book, the Necronomicon. I've got to scroll down where they show the Necronomicon in better. So there's your core book. I think this is the Tales from the Crypt. There's your Inglorious Necronomicon and the backside. I'm 13 years old. Leave me alone. A butt on a book will always make me laugh. So I think this looks so much fun. It looks like the people behind this game just have a mad sense of humor, and I think they're going to have fun with it. Yes. Oh, yeah. And tell me that's not Ash. Its chin's not wide enough to be Ash. It's Ash's skinny cousin. Butt on a book means it has a spine. Okay. Demonology, the Devil's Parlor game. A camp and bloody alternative history tabletop RPG set against the brutal and arcane 1600s England. 1600s England was definitely a strange period. Year 1606, the United Kingdom of England, Wales, and Scotland. Actually, Scotland wasn't part of the UK yet. I don't think it was till late 1600s. Is that a burning hang on? I need to verify this. My history nerd is when did Scotland not pictures. Oh. Scotland entered into the political union with the Kingdom of England in 1707, 101 years after this game is set. God, what a nerd am I. So, and it was because Scotland bet the farm on a colony in Central America in an area that was already claimed by other people, and they sent sheep. They sent tons of Scots and sheep to Central America and failed. Okay, the year is 1606. The United Kingdom of England, Wales, and Scotland is gripped by a fear espoused by a paranoid and vindictive king. Legions of hell are grasping for a... Well, England and Scotland weren't the UK for a long time, but they had a shared ruler off and on, but very separate countries with the same king or queen. Yeah. Anyways. Legions of hell are grasping for a foothold on the land, supported by mortals who have given their souls to attain power. This threat is real, but the actions to abate it, carried out by the Crown's forces, are brutal slaughter against the country's most vulnerable. King James has failed the safety of the country and its inhabitants. It falls on you, brave Inquisitor, to stop the army of hell from walking the earth and save folk from tyranny of mundane monarch. They have it's a complicated relationship. Yes, we do. Sounds like an interesting time to really set a game, because a lot of games kind of, they're set in some semblance of medieval, but you might get some Renaissance era, but like now you're in the 1600s. A lot of games aren't really set in the 1700s unless they're pirate based. This is gaming with demons in 1600s England. Interesting. We have already released a sizable number of our rules, supported by Kickstarter project in 2020. This is a project 6 years in the making, and in the time of the game has evolved. Our basic rules and official scenarios have given you a taste of demonology as it's been in its first edition. We're now looking to release our second edition. Okay, so 2 years ago they did a first edition. Okay. Oh, chat, you make me smile. Try being Ireland in a relationship. Well, my ancestors are Irish, and they were chased out because they were Irish royalty, which means nothing. They were just people that the English really wanted to kill. The British Isles. What an interesting place. We're now looking to release our second edition. The whole game in its most refined form. The same magical, mystical demonology. Demonology. Jeez, bleh, experience with rules tuned until they sang. Well, it sounds like an interesting setting. And if they've already done their first edition, but 2 years is a quick turnaround on an edition. It's a D6 dice pool system powered by the Apocalypse, the Resistance system, and Burning Wheel. You pull together dice from your attributes, the skills associated with them, and a list of fields of knowledge your Inquisitor possesses. If you roll a 4, this is a painful success, where a hard choice must be made. If you roll a 5, it's a success, but if you roll a 6, you may take a devil's bargain to succeed, rolling for a malignant happening to occur. A lot of fun, England. Not a lot of people love England. Let's see, Cards and Crusades, a playing card tabletop RPG with a heavy focus on exploration. Let's see. This is a fantasy tabletop role-playing game, or TTRPG, designed using playing cards as a core mechanic. I always like that. First created, one backed. Mothership had a ton of third-party in 2 years. Yeah, well, the previous one, it's their second edition of their game they released 2 years ago. So, yeah, I know Mothership has had a ton of stuff. In fact, I got to get a hold of Mothership because we backed Mothership originally when it released, and I don't think we got all our stuff. But anyways, I always thought of the potential of playing cards lent well to the concept of tabletop RPGs have used lots of cards throughout the years. Deadlands. But I haven't seen a good one. Deadlands has great card mechanics. Anyways, it's often either a side mechanic, Deadlands Initiative, or a cheap gimmick, Castle Falkenstein. They're not making any friends in this particular pitch, because I love how cards are used in Deadlands, and it's more than just initiative, it's character creation, and there's all the other kinds of other stuff. And Castle Falkenstein is also made by someone that I really respect and is a lot of fun. It's a great game, and it's made by Artel Saurian Games. It was a game designed by Mike Pondsmith. So yeah, they're really not making any friends here. Whew. Okay. In this case, I have designed a combat resolution system around two action types, one assigned to the suit you draw and the other assigned to the number. This results in a fun use of card probability, with simpler abilities acting with a 1-4 odds and greater abilities having a 1 in 13 odds, or more depending on how you build your character. Okay, I will give them, sounds interesting. I will say, hey, don't take pot shots at some really famous games that are really well made. Make them cry like an anime fan on prom night. Wait, am I missing something? I think I missed something in chat. Key component of the game's lore is reincarnation. Whenever a creature dies, its soul is reincarnated into a creature of inverse alignment. So evil creatures are reborn as good, and good creatures are reborn as evil. Whenever a party member is killed, it can be reincarnated as a monster on the world map. That's actually kind of cool. Mighty number 9. That's not ringing a bell. It's neat art. I like the concept. I do have to reach out and say, hey, be careful on calling out other companies, or being that you're a game that does card-based stuff. Don't say, oh, these other games did it as a side thing. So it looks like they've actually got a lot done for their game, and would help if I page up. 9 days ago, Mineral Wells, Texas. Where the hell is that? Other than Texas and the United States and North America, and Mega Man's spiritual successor. That was, oh yes, oh, Mighty number 9. Yes. Oh, now I remember. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Paranoia. This ends in 5 days. So Mongoose Publishing putting out the Paranoia Perfect Edition. It is a definite. Looking through stuff, I've tried to contact some people in on the project. They've given me a little hey, yeah, it is a much more complete, more streamlined version of what the last edition of Paranoia is, while still being backwards compatible. If you love Paranoia, back this. Absolutely. It ends in 5 days. I wish they were, $250,000 is great pre-sales, but So 5 days to go. They're almost 2,000 backers. Mongoose has been really good at putting products out, and I loved a lot of mechanics in the Paranoia this is replacing. It was also a little too much. So the cool thing is, if you've got a ton of stuff for the last edition of Paranoia, this can still work with some of that and add to it. But if you don't, or you weren't into all the cards and stuff, here you go. Here's a more streamlined, cool Paranoia. I'm stoked about it. I love the Paranoia. It's one of my favorite games ever. And originally made by one of my favorite companies that sadly is long gone. Yeah. So here's the funny thing there, Lackey. So there's no card system in this one, but if you get add-ons, you can get cards that work with this that go back into the old rules. So, see, here's forms. There's cool dice. Here's the card packs. So it allows you to do the stuff they're releasing in this game with the previous edition. And then classic missions. So if you missed getting some of this stuff, here's awesome stuff that you can add on. They have a ton of add-on stuff for it. But I'm Paranoia, one of my favorite games. The first RPG put out by West End Games. Super fun. It is totally off the beaten path of what we normally think of as RPGs. The item, powers, and society cards are great. The combat cards were junk. Yeah. So apparently no cards at all in this new one. But if you like some of the cards and stuff, apparently you will also be able to figure out how to use some of those. So, core mechanic: use a simple D6 dice pool. Get 5s and 6s. Count successes. Realize it's not enough. Bribe the NPC and declare premature victory. Oh god, I love this game so much. Let's see. Lightspeed RPG, original science fiction tabletop RPG of alien adventure and interstellar intrigue. They're actually doing pretty well. They're at 3,000 of their 5,000 goal. In Canadian dollars, they want 7,000 Canadian dollars. 23 days to go. So the art makes me smile. I love this. So it's not good art, but it's better than I can do, and it makes me smile because somebody is creating fun things for their game. Let's see. Well, lots of Lightspeed RPG is a science fiction role-playing game where creativity and freedom drive the action. It's quick to learn, easy to play, and offers endless hours of fun. Lightspeed RPG is set in the great galaxy of Regnum, where every bustling spaceport, dark alley, and glittering megatower holds the opportunity for adventure. You can be the pilot, the trader, the heavy, the tech, or the hunter. You got cool vehicles. Lightspeed RPG. First created, zero backed. And a lot of their stuff is very, it's a lot of ideas, but I don't know if they have. They got a lot of goals. It's not a lot about the actual game itself. There we go. You want to check the game out? You can download a free version here. Okie doke. Well, they set me straight. Let's see. World Forge, highly customized fantasy 3D models. So more stuff funded in an hour. I hate when they do this because their funding goal was £500. So not hard to do most of the time. So they have cool interlocking 3D bits. They are nice. They are kind of neat. It is cool because they customizable. Are these just the STL files? So they're smart. They're just selling you the files. And their video is really bad because it is so light. So they're selling you the files that you can download and print. Let's see. I have to give them hats off to that one. So they're just selling their STLs that you can then customize and print however you like. Hats off to them. Let's see. Heroes of Mythic Americas, an exciting 5e RPG supplement that historically represents pre-Columbia American cultures and mythologies. So I saw this one, and I saw that they have a ton of minis, and the minis look really cool. I mean, that bison's badass. So this one, again, being the history nerd. Hey, thank you there for the sub. Yes, bison! Not M. Bison, just regular bison. Heroes of Mythic Americas is a 5th edition compatible campaign supplement. The book is designed to provide players and game masters with options to bring the Mythic America universe to their 5th ed campaign set in a fantastical version of the pre-Columbian Americas. Heroes of Mythic America features exciting new character options, setting locations, and adversaries inspired by indigenous cultures and mythologies of the Americas. Excuse me. So, man, look at these minis. These look great. I mean, it. So, I want to see if. Okay, let's look at their reward tiers. They have 20 left of their early bird hero, which gives the everything in. Oh, the $50 gets you it in print and PDF. Then the non-early bird is just $5 more. $99, you become a player. You can get the RPG supplement PDF, the Mythic Americas supplement in print, and character miniatures of the hero archetypes plus 17 plus more. So 17 minis. Ooh. Yeah, bison fur. Well, it depends on what part of the bison. Some of the bison furs. I have pet a few bison. I was an idiot and pet bison in the wild. I've pet bison on farms. I've pet bisons at a zoo. Also not smart. And I have pet bison in the wild. Really, really not smart. Do not walk up to 1,000 or 1,500 pound animal that can just freak out and murder you just running your general direction. Not that they want to murder you. It's just they're giant. Yes, I've pet a bison multiple times. I've pet a lot of random wild creatures. I had a cougar run up to me and nuzzle me in the wild and pet it, and then it ran off. Yeah, I've done a lot of really, really, really dumb things in my life. I had somebody sound like, he's like, you need to write a book on the really dumb things you've done in life. Okay. Oh, we were looking at these. Got a fly that came into my office. So $55 gets you the book. $99 gets you the book and a bunch of minis. So 17 minis. Those are actually really nice looking minis. $199 Kickstarter only bundle gets you the book, those minis, and then the 17 Cyocast plastic creature minis. There's the bison and some wolves and some spirits. Sasquatch. I don't know. I don't recognize that. That doesn't. I know a lot of interesting stories. Sorry, in the chat. So I had a cougar nuzzle me. She was 50. I was 20. Different kind of cougar. Mountain lion. $250. You get the book, and oh my! What is that? That is cool. That bat thing is 140 millimeters. That's a sizable effing. Wow. And the game is made by somebody out of New Jersey, but it's their first created, zero backed. But man, are they $450. Whew, the God reward. Whoa. It's 9 inches tall. Whoa. Oh, you get 4. They're 4 behemoths. Wow. Those. That is super cool. I'm still enamored by the giant bat. So that's 140 inch mini or 140 millimeter minis. That is like literally the size of my head. Yeah, I'm not sure. This could be an interpretation of a couple different Central South American gods. Okay, I really wish I had $500 to throw at this just for these minis. So I will reach out, see if we can chat with them. You see coyote. Let's see. There's wolves. I don't really see anything that I would say would be a coyote. These guys are a little too big to be coyotes. Coyotes are actually much smaller than wolves typically. They tend to be really scrawny. Yeah, it could. I think it's more likely to be Quetzalcoatl. You see. Oh, that's. I mean, I guess you could call it a coyote. That's the biggest rock coyote I've ever seen. And I know the name of this. That one's going to drive me nuts. But I am absolutely going to reach out to the people behind this project because. There's a lot of work that's been put into this for these minis, and all I can say is I hope. So it could be a Wendigo, but so Wendigo could be the critter here with that. This could be a representation of Wendigo, but there's a couple other gods mythologies that could also represent, and that's the rough thing with when you're trying to represent such a broad variety, because the Americas, is pre-Columbian Americas. That is a lot. I did a bunch of studying on mythologies and histories and stuff. The only reason I really gave up is there's a lot of little things that kind of overlap and you can kind of see where they are, but they're so broad that it wasn't my focus, and it was something that I found interesting and I go back to from time to time, but it was never my historical focus, and I love going back to it, but it's tough. It is interesting. You get a little more separated histories and mythologies once you get into Mexico and Central America and South America, but North America, there is so much overlap. Yeah. You don't speak their names, at least since they're they're. Yeah, and yeah, there's yeah. So this is I'm absolutely gonna reach out to this company, because I would love to have a chat, because the work that's gone into the minis. If the game is mediocre, the minis are amazing. And I hope the game is good. And I'm really intrigued because I see I can see probably about 15 different mythologies represented as I was scrolling through. It's a lot. They seem to be a friendly local cameras and event center who decided to do a Kickstarter. Awesome. Yeah, definitely going to reach out to them. I'm super intrigued. Well, they just launched, so they're 29 days to go to get to 10,000. And it looks like they've had a lot of people pick up the biggest bundle. So 10 backers at the early bird, none at the normal, 1 backer at the $100. Yeah, it's like if you're going to go to that, you might as well. 5 backers at the $180, 1 backer at the $199, none at the $250, and then 4 at the $450 level. Looking at their one of the very few Latino and indigenous-owned companies in the gaming industry. Yeah, there's not too many, and I've discussed this a bunch. It is something I've always struggled with when I lived down in different border states, southern border states. I've always struggled getting Latinos into RPGs. I've not struggled with any other group. It's one that I find just hasn't really embraced role-playing games, and I love seeing stuff like this because trying to find any way, shape, or form to take a barrier away or get somebody introduced or going, oh hey, here's something using a little history or mythology or something, something to draw them in. It has been a group that has I know bazillions of Asians that play RPGs. I've never had problems getting any of my Asian friends at least interested. It's the Latino culture has not been very RPG friendly. So glad to see that there's a company doing this particular thing. I want to see if we can have them on, and I'll reach out, see if they're going to be at Unplugged, because if they're in Jersey, it's not that far. Okay. What do we got next? The Storymaster's Tales, Mysterious Islands, Family RPG, Pirates, Treasure, Magic, and Monsters. Solo to 5 players, adult, ages 8 to adult, hybrid of RPG board and game book. That sounds like they're doing so much. Whew. Let's see. Everything you need is in the book. Rules, adventures, maps, dice. Dice are in the book? Narrative QR code. What? Narrative QR codes. That's neat. Soundscapes, hours of fun. Oh, that's so. Maybe they just uploaded a bunch of stuff on YouTube, which it'll be there for a while. Let's see about entering a world of folklore, fantasy, epic storytelling, and mighty magic, set in the grim world of the 18th century dark fairy tales. You will make your own treacherous journey discovering the mysterious islands, encounter strange mystical creatures, and find lost arcane artifacts. Alone or with friends, you must choose a dangerous quest, but beware, only those with the skill, intelligence, and bravery of a hero will survive. Quick to learn, portable, and most importantly, really fun. This game is a unique hybrid of role-playing game board and adventure game book. I want to know more. Well, Oliver McNeil has created 33 things. So I'm going to dig further into this one. I'm going to reach out to Oliver McNeil because I would like to know more about what they're trying to do. Because this sounds crazy because it is a lot of stuff. I do like the idea of QR codes to play noises and sounds that can really help people. It looks, there's a lot of art and everything. It looks like they really thought a lot about it, but I don't know how they're going to pull all that off. Yeah, this is, okay. I'm going to try to get a hold of Oliver McNeil. Okay. Space, 1889. after 5e. So I don't know if this is actually so Space 1889 was a RPG. Oh, why can I not remember who that it was put out by? Oh, that's going to bug me. But Space 1889, really awesome, fun setting. So Space 1889 After is the next iteration of Space 1889, the popular steampunk tabletop game with new rules, new possibilities, and new stories to tell. Yes, it was Games Designers Workshop, GDW. The Victorian age in Space 1889 is marked, so we know what Space 1889. Space 1889 After takes place 10 years later, so Space 1899. After war and disaster separated the worlds for a time, now adventurers must risk the perils of space to explore the other worlds and fight new enemies that lurk in either. I don't know if they have the, like... I don't know. I will have to find out if they actually have the rights to this Space 1889. Because this is, I mean, it's their first created, zero-backed, new company. I really I like Space 1889, so I'm going to reach out to them, find out if they actually have the rights to use Space 1889. So, not going to talk much about this one. It's not an RPG. Has 16 hours to go. But if you play Mutant Year Zero, this is a board game or miniature game from Free League. I'm only bringing it up. I talked about it a little while back. It's a great way to get your hands on awesome minis that are designed for the Mutant Year Zero world. And they are, I mean, you would be overpaying for minis because you're getting a whole board game, but the minis are pretty badass. I mean, who doesn't want a duck with a crossbow? Or a one-eyed fox with a makeshift gun? Or Rocksteady? Or Bebop? Okay. Lackey found Strange Owl Games will publish Space 1889 under license from its owner, Ulysses Spiel. Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's good to know. And licensing is always interesting, yes. Thought this one was neat. Bestiary of Enchanted England, 58 hours ago. They've already hit their thing, but it's they're going through and just doing a quick little fun thing with Bestiary of stuff from English lore, and it's all digital if I remember correctly. So, and it ends soon. But if you want to support somebody making cool Enchanted England bestiaries, go for it. Vermilion, a Weird West dark fantasy RPG setting. Well, we know Weird West already works in Savage Worlds because we have Deadlands in Savage Worlds, and it's where the Savage Worlds system came from. It's an iteration of the original Deadlands system. So somebody's making their own Weird West, even weirder version for Savage Worlds, which I love Savage Worlds, and I like people that are making cool stuff for the system. So if you want more weirder Weird West than what Deadlands is, and being that it is Savage Worlds, it will be theoretically compatible. So this is the weirdest West. This one just made me giggle. Taco Hell, Wasteland Diner. Pay what you want. So it's the STL files for Taco Bell. And you can 3D print all your fun Taco Hell stuff with a Porta-John. Oh, jeez. There you go. There's Taco Hell that they have printed. I love that it's openable and you have a full little diner in there. It makes me giggle a lot. The pre-war Taco Hell. And your signs and your post-war Taco Hell. With alternative roof. Succulents, and then your porta-john. Because you're going to need that after you go to Taco Hell. Yes, we need to. Oh, yes, we need to get. I need to forward this to the Neon Lords guys. I'm going to share this one in their Discord. This is a perfect thing for Neon Lords. Let's see. Beyond the Corny Gorn Adventures Guide. System-neutral toolkit and sandbox generator for role-playing games inspired by legends and folklore from the Polish mountains. So, if you love Polish lore, and there's some really cool Polish lore out there, this is a system-agnostic adventures guidebook to create stuff using Polish lore. Which there's some really cool stuff in Polish lore. There's a lot of crazy fairy tales and stuff that we tell kids that are based upon a lot of that. So, Ultimate Fairies, Fae, Monsters, and Campaign Book for 5e. So, wow, they're almost $100,000. Oh, this is Legendary Games, I believe. Yeah, they're just like a 10-minute drive from my house. I need to go knock on their door. We're like, hey, why don't you guys do stuff with us, please? Legendary Games does some really awesome stuff, and this is going to be, like anything else they do. They're putting out Bestiary in a campaign for fairies. They've done a ton of these, and they're always good stuff. Ooh, the deluxe one looks badass, to be honest. That's a really cool cover. I hate doing this because I'm like, I want to do that, but they have tons of awesome stuff. Always check out. There's Krampus. I gotta stop looking. There's so many good things. So $25 gets you the fairy campaigns or the fairy bestiary in PDF. $49 gets you either book in print. $79 gets you the deluxe fairy. $89 gets you the ultimate fairy, which gets you. So, yeah, $100 gets you the deluxe. $199 gets you the ultimate fairies 5e retail bundle. The Royal Collection gets you everything, which is the PDF, the hardcover, the limited or deluxe edition, campaign PDF, campaign hardcover, and the Ultimate Kingdoms hardcover. So, and then the Pathfinder, and then Pathfinder 2 and Pathfinder 1. And that's what I love about Legendary Games, is they're still supporting. I mean, they support a broad variety of stuff. So. Wow. Initial funding goal, STL Minis, Major Monsters, the Horned Lord. STL Minis, cat stuff. Yeah. So, yep. I really love, they do, yeah. And then they always support the virtual tabletop stuff. Let's see. Oh, and Palladium, company that's been around for ages. Kevin Sembieta, as a teenager, started doing art for in the late 70s for Judges Guild, and then from there started making his own games, founded Palladium, and Palladium has been putting out awesome stuff for ages. This is the second thing they've put onto Kickstarter, doing well, and they've got 9 days to go. Really hope that they do keep doing well. Hi fans, my name is Sean Owen Robertson. I'm the new creative director and business partner at Palladium Books. Oh, so Kevin's got some new, and Palladium's a very small company, so super happy to see some people coming on and helping Kevin keep Rifts and all the other Palladium stuff going. Thank you for checking out this Kickstarter, which I'm super excited to share with you. This Titan Robotics Kickstarter campaign highlights the highly anticipated 160-page Rifts role-playing game sourcebook. It also includes a new supplement collecting 30 years of the best-selling lore leading up to this book on into one alluring hardcover, a custom poker card deck, and beautiful art prints. So, again, I love their special covers they do, because they're simple and very tasteful. So. I can talk all day about how I love Palladium, and they do good things, and I'm happy to see Kevin's got some new blood helping him out doing some awesome things. Indiegogo had a game. Let's see. Amazing Adventures multi-genre RPG, jeez. With Siege Engine, Wild West, zombie horror, sci-fi, pulp, and more. They wanted 5,000. They're at almost 12,000. So, Amazing Adventures, it is semi-generic. It covers a ton of stuff, and they're hitting their stretch goals. I like to see there's some people that are trying RPGs on Indiegogo, because it doesn't happen often. Indiegogo is interesting. I'm always leery because of the flexible goals. So if you're going for $5,000 and you hit 4,800, you get the money, and then do you walk away? So, but Amazing Adventures has a little of everything. You can see, walkers and monsters and aliens and cowboys and just a little of everything. Let's see. Humble Bundle still has their Pathfinder thing. It's going on for another 9 days or something like that. Where's the 9 days, 15 hours, and 7 minutes. And at $45, you get 42 items, and one of them is the physical Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner Box Set, which is awesome. So not often do you get a box set with these. So super cool. Then they also have, this is maps and tokens and everything for virtual tabletops. $18 gets you a ton of maps and stuff. Honestly, see, this ends in 2 days. Probably need to get something like this for the library for all the games that we play. Gonna pass on the Pathfinder bundle there to Pulsar. Don't you have like everything that Pathfinder's ever done? And then lastly, we're gonna go to our last page that we stopped by, and they don't always have. So Bundle of Holding has a store. I have never really talked about the store, but they have stuff available in the store. So you can get your Old School Essentials, Tiny Dungeon, stuff like that, Champions. So they always have stuff in here. So it's not always the same stuff. And then they have their quick deals. So this is different than their limited time offers. So for next 9 days for $10, you can get Eureka, Focal Point, Game Master Guide to Running Extraordinary Sessions, Masks, 1,000 NPCs, 1,000 memorable NPCs for any role-playing game, Never Unprepared, the process of preparing to run a session, Odyssey, a guide to campaign management. That's hard. Unframed, the art of improvisation for Game Masters. So these are all actually great tools. So for $10, if you're a GM, all of these are great tools for GMs. I would highly suggest these, and these are things that you're probably not going to really find in print or at your local game store. So really support this particular thing, because this is pretty awesome. A lot of good. You'll find a lot of good advice in there, especially one that a lot of people struggle with: the art of improvisation for game masters. As a GM, you got to be really good at just pulling stuff out your butt. I do it all the time. It's one of my favorite things of GMing, especially at events. Okay, Mutants and Masterminds, their power-up. So $15. Explore the power-up pack. You get Deluxe 3rd Edition GM's Guide, the Super Team Handbook, and Time Traveler's Codex. So all that for $15. Then they have the Mutants and Masterminds Earth Prime. So $15 you get the M&M Basic Hero Handbook, the Rogues Gallery, Freedom City 3rd Edition, and then if you go to 26 and a quarter, you can get all of these, plus the Deluxe Handbook, the Atlas of Earth Prime, and Hero High, if you want to play teenage heroes. Let's see, Level Up. So get all 3 Level Up core books, adventures, and play aids for $25. So that gets you Adventures Guides, Trials and Treasures, and Monstrous Menageries. Level Up narrator screen, the Memories of Holdenshire, and the Gate Pass Gazette issue number 0. So much to say. Let's see, Mongoose Traveler. So $13 gets you the 2022 core rulebooks. So this is Traveler Mongoose edition. Mongoose doing one of the Kickstarters we talked about earlier. Oh, Paranoia. So doing 2 game systems that are, classic, the continuation of amazing classic old RPGs that they're still keeping going and with tons and tons of players. So for $13, you get the 2022 core rulebook update, Behind the Claw, Sword Worlds, and then if you go up to a little over $35, you get all those, plus the Aliens of Charted Space version Volume 1 and 2, the complete Sword Worlds campaign. Yes, teen superheroes can be a lot of fun because there's more drama, and when powers go awry, it's more explainable. Because if Superman loses control of a power, like, hey, you've been doing this for a while. But when somebody from the New Mutants loses control of the powers, it could be they're getting a surge, they're, hormones going awry, puberty, bazillion things. Yes, and more character growth. I actually love playing I think some of my favorite superhero games are teenage superheroes. So, for $35.03, you get a ton of Traveler stuff for the Mongoose Traveler. Then, there's more Traveler stuff available. So, for $10, you get The Great Rift and Deep Night Revelation. Both 402 pages and 320 pages. So $10 get you 2 ginormous things. And then if you go up to $35.50, you get those 2, plus 6 Deep Night source books and 3 Great Rift adventures. So tons and tons more stuff. That's another 646 pages of content. That's a boatload. Cthulhu Confidential. This ends in 2 days. $12 gets you Cthulhu Confidential, The Howling Fog, The House Up in the Hills, and One for the Money. And then if you go all the way up to $25, you get one Knights Black Agents Solo Ops, NBA, The Best of Intentions, not the National Basketball Association, High Voltage Kill, and Ex Astoria, and then The Shadows over Washington, DC, State. Then there's still novel writing games tools. So this has been this is the second iteration of this. So for $8 you get 5 cool like indie press games. Then if you go up to $23.60, you get those 5 games plus the Magus, the Bucket of Bolts, Back and Again from the Broken Land, and Apothecaria 2 expansions. So Apothecaria is a game right here, solo potion making RPG. This gives you 2 more things for it. So, tons of awesome stuff. I love bundle holding. And for everybody that is in, hey, we're up to 9 subscribers. We really did nearly double our subscriber count. We went from 5 to 9. So, please reach out to all your local game stores. We're going to be on social media for the next week, in all the way up to local business Saturday, trying to get people to realize that you really need to get out and support your friendly local neighborhood store. They are, some of them may be dragging a lot of debt from the last couple of years. I know some have done really well because they were able to do they had a lot of gamers that were buying games and stuff because they were, shut in their house or whatever. But I know some that haven't been doing as well. So try to find out if they're doing awesome sales, find out if they have deals for shipping or whatever, and we'll try to get the word out for as many of them as we can. The other thing is, my niece, who has played on some of the games in check if your friendly local neighborhood, local gaming store, if your FLGS is doing any charity. Many are. My local FLG is sponsoring needy families. So yes, please, your local stores. My dad always said, hey, try to fix things at the lowest level. The military it says they're big about it. Not necessarily, but if you can help fix things in your town, your neighborhood, your area, and why not do it through the power of gaming? It's part of the reason the library exists. I am very big on trying to do the right thing where you live, and getting people out motivated to help their family, their friends, their neighbors, their neighborhood, and their city. Because if you can slowly chip away at making all those things better, you make the next level better. If you make your home better, then you can make your neighborhood better. You make your neighborhood better, you make your city better. You make your city better, your county's better. Your county's better, and makes your state better. And we have people running around, this has to happen, you got to help us down here. And it's like, when you try to do something at the top, by the time it works down, you've got so many hands in the pie. $1 starts up here and gets to 10 cents at the local food bank. Whereas if you take that $1 and you give it to your local food bank, or you work with your local game store that is trying to sponsor and help needy families, I guarantee that money will go way further at helping someone than telling people to go help people. Because we get that a lot, oh, you should help. Well, please go out and help. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm asking you, out of the kindness of your heart and out of the mission of what the library is, go help people. Go do the right thing. Go play a game with somebody that's in need. Reach out to your friends and family. Make sure that they're doing well. Just because some people don't like their friends and family, I'm going to reach out to people in my family that I don't necessarily like, but I don't want anything bad to happen to them. That also leads kind of back to something I was starting to say before I started reading the chat again. My niece, I posted in our Discord, so she's gamed with us a few times when we were gaming, and she has an Indiegogo. It is in our Kickstarter, or in our Discord, and if they had a fire in their house, they live in an older home, nice house. They're working, they're doing fine, everybody's fine. They had a fire in their attic, and now they're staying with her in-laws. And I joked with her that they're already prepped for Thanksgiving, but they had a big fire, and when the firefighters came through, their entire top floor of their house is flooded. So all their kids' rooms are just destroyed at the beginning of winter, just before Thanksgiving. So her in-laws started a GoFundMe to help raise some funds to just help them clean up and kind of replace a bunch of things for the kids. And it's in our Discord. So if you're interested, you can help out as well. So thank you all for tuning in. It has been a lovely evening. I've had a good day. We've talked about a lot of things. Go support your local game store. Support your friends and family. Even if you have arguments with them, especially this time of year. We lose way too many people this time of year to mental health. Take some time and, give your friends and family hugs. If you can't give them a hug, just, even the ones that you may argue with, send them a message and say, happy holidays, or hey, love you, even if I don't agree with you, and make sure that they're doing okay. So, all of you, thank you for tuning in. The library is, now closed. And thank you all for, being a part of what we do. Good night, all.